Hey everybody. Um, Feeling pretty down about myself because the worst part about the last episode I only really picked up a day later, probably because I was drinking. Um, put it in the comments of that video. I don't think anyone else had seen it. If someone had seen it before me, please note that I'm trying to avoid other people's reviews and watching it so that I kind of give my own thoughts, but still that Lan wasn't able to pick up that the daughter of the night in the old tongue was Lanfear, even though it was spelled Lanfear. That's just that's a mind-bogglingly stupid thing, and it just the only thing that makes sense is that Lan is illiterate now. But thank God he wasn't in this episode. However, everybody else was. Oh, except for Matt. Matt wasn't in this. If you liked Matt, no, they didn't. Well, wait, no, they did assassinate his character some more, but we'll get to that. Anyways, I'm jet lagged along with being a little bit hammered. Work wraps up a little bit early around here. Stayed up and watched the show, and then reviewed it today again after work, and went through a lot of this. And I don't want to say I put in medium effort this time. I think I'm just sad at this point. Like, not angry about this. I'm just disappointed. That's how I feel. I'm just disappointed. But anyways, I have beer. I have a slideshow that I'll start and go through these. I did more of these slideshows, scenes to cut out as I was talking to, not just one per scene, as I've been doing. So let's dive in, and this is going to suck. So, got lots of beer. Okay, so the Shanchan, we see this shot again. I think it's almost the exact same one as they had, they ended season 1 on. But now we know what all the sex objects, all the dildos are on the hull of the ship. It's basically more death dildos, more impalement dildos for Uno and others. So, yeah. And then we pan up, and then we get to see the great city of Falma. Two observations, a few observations. This is the shittiest port I've ever seen. The ships are just basically kind of get run into the rocks. There's absolutely no portside infrastructure of any kind. Doesn't really make sense for any coastal city. It has a big tower where I think the watchers over the waves, the watchers on Tobin Head, are at. And maybe in keeping with, if they're combining this with the Stone of Tyr, that's what the big fortress is in the back. Maybe that's the stone. Although I'm getting less confident about that they're combining books 2 and 3, because we haven't seen anything from book 2 or 3 in this. Pretty much, like, they haven't even mentioned Kalendor at all. So I don't know if they're going to be ending season 1 or season 2 with kind of a big Kalendor reveal. I don't know. So the next shot, or the next scene, is Ishi arrives with Suroth and their slaves, which include Loyal and Ingtar, who seems to be really digging his new outfit. And just an egregious amount of eyeshadow on that guy. But let's just keep in mind where they end up standing in this scene, and see if they actually move their feet at all in this entire episode. But anyways, they try and introduce us a little bit into the Shanchan culture, but it starts off with some pretty un-Shanchan like behavior and dialogue, or dialogue that doesn't match behavior, including the meeting of eyes, including how Ishamil kind of behaves throughout. They mention the Empress, but they don't say "May she live forever," and that was kind of a big thing in the books, if you recall. It got kind of annoying how often they all said "and the Empress, may she live forever." And they didn't even do it here, even though they mentioned the Empress twice. And it turns out that Suroth has jeopardized the entire return by attacking random village number 3. They overextended themselves with their tiny force, and somehow this is, yeah, if you're invading a continent, I don't think it hinges upon whether or not you attack village number 3. So as punishment, she gets her stupid fingernails cut off. And I'm like, good. But I'm wondering if this is like the degree to which she was disappointing is how much of her fingernails were cut off. So this dude basically hacked them almost to the fingertip. Well, they're still pretty long nails, about as long as they are in the book. But she seems to react like, oh my gosh, I've lost so much status, and now I have to, wait another 17 years to grow back my fingernails to the original length, like it's a Dothraki braid thing. It's pretty dumb. Well, anyways, then after this chastisement, Ishamael presumes to speak to Turok, who just kind of lets him. And he takes the Pad and Fane role from the books. And then Shofane shows up, and he's just basically a UPS delivery guy. Turok knows what the Horn of Valir is by the box it's carried in. I'm wondering why they give it to him, and like, did they need him to open the box? Like Fane needed him to open the box potentially in the Great Hunt. And then the scene kind of ends with him saying, Turok saying, with this, the whole world will be ours. But that's like something he already believed, right? So, whatever. Okay. This scene, going downhill represents the show in a meta way. But Rand slips, and then Moiraine says that the wound that she just inflicted on Lanfear, 2 wounds, mind you, it was stabbed through the heart and slit her throat, would barely slow her down. And they're booking it. And I'm honestly thinking here, like, why didn't you hack her fucking head off, Moiraine, moron? Couldn't you have tried that? Like, cut off her head and, like, take it with you. And then maybe she, like, wait, but I doubt it. I doubt there are, like, probably limits to that. Highlander was a good show for explaining that type of stuff. Or if maybe the head could regenerate the whole body, that probably takes a little bit longer, but it could have been funny to like try hacking her legs off. Like she couldn't chase you if you hacked her legs off and then took her legs with you if you wanted to do that. But I mean, if this is your plan, that basically hack in 2 mortal wounds and then just run away like she's going to be right behind you, that's a dumb thing. Well, then we do get to see the Lanfear resurrection. One thing that was kind of nice was the saw, the dark flecks in the eye. Now, granted, they all seem to go into her pupils instead of drifting across. But it was a nice thing to basically see, oh, they can do some special effects a little bit. But yeah, I'm looking in the comment here. Yeah. Thanks, Kat. Let me highlight this one. They could have ripped off Deadpool, right? Where he takes like take her legs off, and then she has to like grow baby legs for a little bit. That would have been funny. It would have been a ripoff, but I mean, you could have done that. But if you're worried she's going to resurrect, like just take her fucking head off, for crying out loud. Let her try then. But yeah, the true power appears to be very powerful because not only does it heal her from a wound through the heart and a slashed throat, it also heals her blouse. And that's why I ended it on this shot. So she was totally getting her blouse fixed at the same time. It's fucking stupid. Okay. Now we're still going down the hill. Please note that Moron has a back scabbard for her butter knife. So apparently having her dagger at her hip wasn't cool enough. She needs to be just as cool as Rand, so let's give her dagger on her back. What the hell is going on? Moreover, like they had her run around in pants basically all of season 1. She had kind of like pants and a trench coat. And for this, they decided to make her wear a dress, even though she has to run down the hill. So she gets to a stable, and there's a stable master. And she whips out her Aes Sedai ring like it's the FBI badge and commandeers a horse. And then she randomly decides that it would be a good plan. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. To go and murder a horse. Because they couldn't take the 4th horse with them? Really? That would seem like a good idea. I got a fast journey. Maybe you could bring one remount along. How hard is that going to? Have you seen the size of the stable master? If she's coming with you, she's probably going to need to be switching horses just to keep up. For crying out loud! But she takes Rand's sword and then she slaughters what I can only presume to be is a Lady Pips, because Pips was distraught when he saw this. He was actually losing his mind. This is just so bad. Evil, evil, evil moron. Okay. So then Lanfear arrives less than 2 minutes later, and then she looks at the dead horse and she says clever, even though it isn't. This is literally set her back 12 seconds finding a horse because some random dude just shows up and Lanfear asks where the road leads. The dude says Tarvalon. And then she says, of course it does. And that's the like, all roads lead to Tarvalon joke, which the Dark fans are going to find funny, but it's not funny because it's just clunky. And then she makes the guy's head explode and then walks to the horse saying, is there anything slower than a horse? And I'm like, yes, walking is slower than a horse. That's why you killed this guy for his fucking horse. That's why you're getting on the horse. Side point is, why isn't Lanfear skimming ahead? If she knows the destination's Tarvalon, she's got other modes of travel. She doesn't need the horse at this point. She could just, teleport ahead, travel around, hop around. She's got other ways to find them. But anyways, at this point, I got pretty upset with it that I went to see who wrote the episode. And it looks like some dude named Rohit Kumar, whose other writing credits were The Walking Dead, World Beyond, and 13 Reasons Why. So he writes for teenagers who don't think about anything. Oh, it's dumb. All right. Then in the next scene, just to confirm, it is dogs because we get more subtitles with stuff barking. But we get some interesting lore established that Elias basically misses drinking. Elias is taking Pern away from the prisoners' caravan, and Pern is mad because suddenly he's not a coward. Elias wants Pern to join his wolf cult, and Pern gets even more mad. All the cute dogs show up, and they're adorable, and there's barking and growling and some snarling. Pern decides to leave Elias, and then that probably means Elias is done for this season, not that he contributed anything. And then Hopper whines like a little dog because he's played by a dog. So that's that scene. So now back to the chase. It starts off when we see a quick shot of Lanfear using the one power to whip her horse. And again, yeah, do they even know about traveling or skimming? It's like, that's how she actually moves around in the book. That's why she like appears inexplicably and disappears inexplicably. But yeah, like she could even go into Teleran Riyadh in the flesh and maybe ride around on a super fast horse like what Egwene did. But anyways, so Moron emerges from Rand from behind a rock, giving the old switcheroo. Moron thinks she has a day or two. She's given the 3 horses to the stable master, who weaves 3 times what Lanfear does, and Lanfear has all the weaves of the one power to take away horse fatigue and other stuff, and she thinks that a 5-minute head start will last for a day or 2. Of course it will. There's some more info dumping. Shamil will be releasing Forsaken one by one, and if they get all free, then there's no hope at the last battle. Rand stands at the end of the scene open mouth like he can't believe that this is the plot now. Okay, some slight excitement. Pern makes a friend. It's not me, but he was a stand-up guy in this scene. I kind of shocked, actually, and kind of flattered. So, but maybe they're just butchering every character on purpose because Dain Bornhald was not this nice of a guy. All right, so Hopper literally barks and whines to start the scene. Pern then gets some plot vision. So he sees Uno's corpse in a cage. So I think Hopper would want to get to like go eat Uno. That makes sense. Pern remarks that they didn't give him a proper burial, so quite obviously, since he's not in a 6-inch grave, the wolves can't get to him, especially if he's inside a hanging cage. So he talks to Hopper for a little bit, and then Pern goes off to go get the Uno meat for Hopper. Uno is in the tiniest little cage, and there's also a Shanshan in a cage, and Avienda. Such a diverse prison system. Avienda has crazy eyeshadow, and thankfully Dain Bornhold shows up to rescue Pern from learning anything further. Dain inexplicably gives Avienda some water, and we don't know why until we find out later on that it's so she doesn't kill him. That's clever writing right there. So Dain is a nice guy. He takes Pern for drinks. He is not at all suspicious. He notes that Pern is from the Two Rivers, and he's able to identify Pern not by his textiles like Elaine did, but by his ring. So Layla was obviously a famous jeweler / blacksmith or something. At the bar, another dog called Lady likes Pern. It's very in keeping with how Hopper likes Pern. The barkeep implies then, after Pern wants to bug out after only one drink, which is not enough for Dain's drinking, quite obviously. But he implies that the White Cloaks are worse than the Shanshan. And how? Because Dain is being so polite. But then we know that Valda shows up. He actually has a shepherd's crook, like a mangled shepherd's crook in his symbol, a nice little detail that they just forgot about in the first season. They're correcting something, so whatever. But Valda's obviously not dead. So good job, Egwene. Fucking hack. All of Valda's dialogue is basically info dumping, but he is wearing more armor now, perhaps because he got stabbed in the neck by a girl, but survived because, girls can't do anything right. All right. After this, we get a shot of the giant tower penis at night, basically setting up that this scene with our stable master is close in setting. So basically, within one night, they rode from Kyrian to the White Tower. Yeah. How long did it take the Aes Sedai with Rand in the box? They got not even halfway, and that was taking them a month. So yeah, great job, show. Great job on distances. This scene ends with Lanfear sewing this chick's mouth shut with the power, presumably so she will lose some weight. All right. Then Varen comes to the White Tower. She goes to a differently set dressed room full of books in order to meet Cho Chang Sedai and Tiny Sedai. Varen, being a retiree, is apparently a thing. She hands out some booze, and they all drink like giddy alcoholics and just chug from the same bottle with no concerns about hepatitis or other sexually transmitted diseases that are quite obviously rampant throughout the tower. None of these ladies act like brown sisters. They don't seem bookish. They seem very excited and social to be drinking. Semi-worldly, like gossip is what Varen is after in exchange for booze. Like, they didn't even read the books about what the Ajas all apparently do. Anyways. Next scene we have, it's our main character. I did know that there are now horses allowed in the ways, which weren't allowed in the ways in the first season, which is why Aldib and Mandarb and all the other horses basically sent away. Good job, show. It's now clear to everyone that Liandrin is a dark friend. It's even clear to Nynaeve because she attacked with the power. Liandrin starts talking about some of the lore changes that they made to the whole 3 oaths, making it seem that the tower was submitting to Arthur Hawkwing, which is not how it happened in the books. So the 3 oaths in the show is basically patriarchy. And Liandrin apparently joined the Shadow for her fake son. So fuck off, show. And then we get a really dumb scene with Suroth. It starts off with Alwyn, leave us please, which is not how either Suroth or Ishamael would would talk to a I don't know, what do you call it, a Dacovel, someone who is owned. Um, oh wait a second, I might have pissed off Trip. Give me a second. Trip,
Hey,
what did I do?
you you look like you need some company. You're so
Okay,
sad and you're not laughing and you need somebody to play off.
I thought I had pissed you off because of the fat jokes I was making.
That always does. I am so used to that by now.
Okay, okay, it's hard to tell. So, it's, great, we got a guest. Yay! All right, should I get a little bit livelier? But am I off on this? Is this how either Suroth or Ishamael would behave to each other? Uh oh, did I lose her?
Oh crap, I accidentally muted. Sorry. No, I was saying go back to the waves cuz
Oh,
I didn't get in here quick enough.
okay. This is the Waze shot.
Okay, so how in the hell is Leandrin getting them up and on their horses? Like, I mean, I know they're well, Nynaeve is awake, but aren't the other two knocked out? Is she using compulsion on them? I know I'm overthinking this, but I can't help it. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah, no, okay. It's maybe she is a burly lady, or something, but she took them off the horses. She probably knows enough not to channel in the ways because that would, well, oh, here's the simple answer for you, Trip. She doesn't fear the nasty wind that says mean things because she's self-aware.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I'm just like, okay, we have the ways again, right? Which should be cool. Because the ways
They
is
weren't cool though.
terrifyingly cool. And honestly, I'll be honest, my I have not had the opportunity to really reread The Great Hunt, so some of my specific memories, it's been a while, but wasn't wasn't there anything in the books about Leandrin trying to be cautious in the ways and the
I, th- I
girls kinda
I
being
think they
freaked
all
out
were,
about it a little
but
bit
but
and
here's the biggest problem with the ways in the show. Like the ways as described in the books basically faded to black almost at like arm's length. You couldn't see that much farther ahead. Here they turned it into like this hexagonal, was it like Giant's Causeway type pattern, and there's flashes of lightning and other stuff. Like
I call it Cubert.
if
Did
you
you ever
wanted,
play that game, Cubert, back
oh,
in the day?
you're sidetracking me now. No, I didn't play that.
Well, that's
But
why I'm here.
I wanted to get through this and then go to sleep. Oh man.
We wanna have
No.
some fun. Okay,
Okay.
sorry, go on.
So in essence, the cheapest and easiest thing would just be like film this in a dark room and like not have decent lighting, like have the light fade really, really quickly, and then you could film the ways. Like it was that was the easiest layup they had, and they even fumbled it and turned it into this monstrosity. But yeah, in the
I guess
books, the girls weren't knocked out. They didn't have to get loaded and unloaded onto horses or anything like that. They were tricked, but
right.
apparently you can't have them be that naive for reasons. And as for Silverlock asking if they all had catheters, I'm just saying no, they probably free streamed it.
Huh. I don't know. It just this there are so many things that kind of bother me, even just trying to look at it as okay, what is the show telling me? So the show here isn't telling me anything other than like what's in conversation. There's nothing cool going on in the background. Don't know
No,
what the hell they've done with the horses. Don't know how she's managing to manhandle three women. All of this.
no,
And
she probably uses the power, and then they just forgot about the Black Wind or determined that because she's of the Dark One that won't harm her or something stupid like that. I honestly don't know, but the thing, they didn't think any of this stuff through. That's like the main gripe I have about this. They didn't think any of this through. All they decided to do was take Leandra and turn her into the main character, give her a proper motivation for turning to the dark, which is exactly what's being expressed here. Is she basically says, "Yeah, of course not following the three O's. The three O's are patriarchy," and she joined the dark to like save her son.
Yes, we
Anyways,
all the bad guys have sob stories.
oh,
We
and
make
this
us
this scene
feel
is going to
bad
end
for
on.
them.
So on this scene, it's so mind-boggling that Suroth would behave this way to Ishamael of all people. She doesn't have the one power. If she did, she's not very powerful at it. She's has her armies, but no, your armies. What is her army? Her ships and her leashes. She just got demoted by her actual boss. Like maybe she was second in command before, but she's just been banished. She literally says that Ishamael might be chosen, but isn't of the blood, and
Well,
that
okay,
Ishamael's
we
there
know
at her invitation.
if she wouldn't be acting this way.
No,
I mean, yeah, he's manipulative and likes to sow
well,
chaos, and the man is crazy. He's
not this one.
arrogant.
As
Yeah,
far
I
as
know.
like it's not Ishi. He wouldn't stand for any of this. Now, I do have a quick question for you on this because I was mulling this over. Is that an actual shaved head, or do you
No.
think that they put like a bald wig, like a semi bald wig over her actual hair? Because
Yeah, you
like
can tell they did.
how
Well,
is it just
the
because her head
ridge,
is weird looking?
no, because of the ridge line above her eyes. They didn't even blend the makeup properly.
Oh, good lord!
And you can see it better in some of the other shots,
I just
I
thought she
mean,
had a
it's
weird looking
obvious.
head.
No, it's a bald
I
cap. This woman is not Surath, but Karima McAdams is gorgeous.
Not in this show.
And I know we already know. We've talked about
Okay,
that, but it's like, but why? Because she could be still gorgeous even with
can't.
that the Shan Chan have, and yes, she could. Some women can pull that off. I know you. Oh, we have Flippy Kicks. That's my
Oh,
new
okay.
name.
So
That's my new
so
name for Avienda is Flippy Kicks.
so this is the Pern and Ayula scene.
Ah,
So this scene starts out. Let me just run through my quick notes here. So Pern
okay.
forgets about bringing the Uno meat back to Hopper. Avienda looks concussed, like she's got a blood stain on her shufa, and she's stumbling around. Um, Sober, reasonable Dain came with numbers and says that they should all attack at once, and then they proceed to attack one at a time. There's a white cloak when they're all like around them and like moving in. There's one white cloak that could literally have stabbed Avienda in the back several times. We got an egregious 360-degree spin shot. Pern stands still literally for the first 10 seconds of the fight and finally does something when someone takes a swing at him, and then he goes to pick up a hammer. Uh, at about 30 seconds into the fight, most of the white cloaks are down. Two appear to be fighting Pern, two fighting Avi, and three are too far away to do anything. Manly Dain then steps up to show them how it's done. He has no problems hitting a woman, so just remember that, Trip. Then right at 31:20, Dain has her, and that's where I stopped this and put it up. Has her in a fatal axe chop. Like he is bringing that axe around full on, and Avienda is. I don't know what position she's in here right now because I don't even see where her head is. Um, but did she get a leg in the way,
I she's
or
headless. I just noticed that. She is
is she like
literally
semi upside?
headless.
I don't know what's going on.
My God.
But she's got like her leg in the maybe her leg blocked the chop, but he pulls back out of this. Like apparently Avienda deflects this like super hard. Um, But anyways, the fight
You
basically ends with Dain on the ground, and then we get the reason why Dain gave her water in the first place, and it's so Dain would not get murdered.
okay? I have a couple of comments, of course, but you have a super
Oh,
chat.
yes, Silverlock, 9.99, which is actually quite a bit Canadian. So thank you, sir, for me taking the arrow, so I don't have to. Yeah, you're welcome.
I get to take the arrow again tomorrow night, watching it on a different stream,
Oh
watching
man,
the actual show. But okay, so yeah, the I don't know. I actually found this hilarious. Okay, the whole fight scene was truly hilarious with all the little flippy kicks and
that's all
the
she
black
did. She
the
basically
black.
cartwheeled through like 10 different white
Yes,
cloaks and breaking
yes,
arms and stuff, like
and
with no weapon.
she's like Black Widow. They have literally tried to make her into Black Widow. But okay, yes, the whole water thing was ridiculous and it was simply a contrivance so that Dane could come in and, fight with her, but then she wouldn't kill him. But why is it that hair because isn't it Perrin that has to point out don't kill him because he gave you water? Okay, bad Aiel. You got some serious fucking toe now because you didn't even pay attention to your own
Eh,
hugely important cultural things. Wouldn't an Aiel
yeah,
automatically be like, okay,
not necessarily in the wetlands, and not like right next to a river. But yeah, like I know what, like, and the reason why we're not getting Gaul is we know that this scene is basically from the Dragon Reborn when Perrin rescues Gaul, and then they fight all the White Cloaks in the town. Um,
yeah,
so
but
there,
if,
but
okay,
but Gaul was like a 6'6" badass, and then Perrin also fought and took down some White Cloaks. I know what they're getting at. We can criticize this a little. I
no,
get
I,
it. I
I'm,
get it
I'm,
why it exists. It's just that how it was executed, I think you're absolutely right. They made it completely Black Widowy, and I could definitely see like if there was a Gaul parent scene, it wouldn't have operated like this. It would have.
oh, it
I don't know.
probably would have operated like this. You know what the land fight scenes look like. I mean, just as far as it not being competent. And yeah, Spaced Oyster was just talking about that. Yes, I totally agree. Gaul kicked the White Cloak's ass with Perrin, right, in the Great Hunt, but it also was not presented as if it was a superhero type of fight.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, Black Widow or Captain America or Matrix, right? Because basically, this is
Well,
what we've
that's
got
where this
is
kick
this.
comes from. How awesome would
Yeah.
have that been? We're basically headless Avienda, and then we get like a 360 spin around, and then maybe she like kicks Dane Bornhold in the head. But we
It
got to
just
move on
is.
from this turn. This was just so.
Okay, fine. Don't let me have any fun. Fine.
Oh, we're
Go
gonna have
on.
fun with this next one. Okay, so I got two slides here, kind of back to back. This so Rand and Moron are in Kyrian, and then Rand notes like part of their plan, like we need to sleep eventually. And then literally the next thing that Moron says is, "No, that is the most dangerous thing we could possibly do."
Oh, God.
So let's just get this completely straight. So Moron knows enough about Lanfear and that she's in the world of dreams, and that if she was going to intervene on Rand's behalf and really piss off Lanfear, like by stabbing her through the heart and slitting her throat, um, that to just put like a target on them. Lanfear is going to come after them, which is why they ran away and they used the stable master as bait and they did the old switcheroo. But now apparently her plan is we're never going to sleep again.
Well, okay, now are we just going to talk about this scene or could we talk about kind of
No,
this
I want
overall
to kind of
middle
put I
section
I
here?
want to walk through what are the implications of if you're planning this out. and you rationalize and you realize at some point, I'll never be able to sleep again, right? So step one, I'm gonna, you know, I maneuvered Rand to like find Logain, and then step two, I came in. I realized, Lanfear is in there, like the daughter of Night Poem and whatnot. Step three, I got to find the cabin where they're staying at, so I have to have tea with my sister. Isn't this a chore? Step four, get to the cabin and manage to kill Lanfear and extricate Rand in a super rushed and chasey manner. But step five was never sleep again.
Yeah, we'll go back to step 4 because we have, oh, okay, well, I need to
Yeah,
rescue Rand from land fear, but give me 5 more minutes, and now I'm going to just sacrifice him to land fear because I've had an epiphany about whether I really need to protect him or not. I'm
That's
like,
it. That's it. So what I'm saying is, if you were properly writing this out, if Moron is capable of forethought, she would have recognized that sleep is the most dangerous thing to do. But a plan where you're never allowed to go to sleep again is not tenable. This wouldn't be your plan. You would have to think of something completely different. Except what the show writers did was exactly what you're saying. Is no, step six was she's going to reevaluate her plan,
and
which
come
is
up
not
with a
which is
shittier plan.
which is but this is not how good writing works. Like, this
I
undermines
know.
everything that she's done to date. Because if this was her plan, because at the moment this is her plan. Her plan right now is we are not going to sleep ever again.
Yeah. No,
So,
I'm right there with you, but I'm also okay, so you were talking about
oh,
in the
sorry.
prior scene that you could understand what they were trying to do there, right? Bring the Gall parent scene, only using Avienda and Dain and blah blah blah.
Yeah, but what
So
are they?
that's
This is their fan
wait,
fiction. What are they doing?
wait. So here, what I think they were trying to do was when even though Rand runs away, right, from up in the mountains, okay, that is more or less when Moraine kind of realizes, even though we need to follow him, right? She kind of realizes that, oh, wait, maybe I've got to let him off. I have to let him off the chain. I can't, I can't hold him too
Show
tight,
like
right? So I,
Book
yeah,
Moraine knew that from the outset. Show Moron, yeah,
no, I
okay.
know, but what I'm saying is that seems to be what approach they're trying to take here. It just makes no fucking sense and
Yeah, I
makes
hate
the
it.
show Moraine so much stupider than I
So
thought they could
yeah,
even get
her
her to be,
her plan was like, just in the last 30 minutes of show running, was stab Lanfear through the heart, slit her throat, then not cut off her head, or chop off her legs and make her have to regenerate like Deadpool or something like that.
How did she know that wouldn't kill Lanfear? How? They don't know that much about the Forsaken. How? And they've not shown in
Well,
the show that they
they
know
do in the
anything about the Forsaken.
Lan knows so much about the Forsaken that he literally read Lanfear in the Old Tongue and didn't know who it was about.
Ah, but that's what I'm saying. There are so many. I don't even know what you want to call them because you can't. I can't even call them like plot holes or
No.
whatever. There's so many
Stab through the
logical
heart, slit the
fallacies.
throat, didn't
Yeah,
bother to chop
right.
the head off, didn't chop the dismember, ran away, killed a horse for no reason, ran away some more, did the old switcheroo, basically sacrificing the stable master to get killed, runs back to Kyrian, involves her own family. So she just brought like one of the most dangerous beings on earth to like track them down.
She is
Just,
now a serial killer.
I know. But what did you? Here's a question. What did you think about Barthanas's haircut? The like
I
wavy
don't
on
know.
one side ponytail.
Oh God, yeah, I saw that and went, "What?
Yeah, it's the most
What
cucked
is
haircut of
that?"
all time. But I honestly think that Barthanas, they're making him gay and he'll want to bone Rand, and that was the point of that scene.
Yeah,
But now it sounds
probably.
like we'll get several more episodes set in Kyrian for exactly that.
It's all that, and I am quoting show fans here. It's
Oh
all that
god.
queer subtext that was in the books that is actually now being brought to the screen.
Subtext, huh? Fuck,
Mm-hmm.
fuck them. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay. All right. Next scene.
Oh
So
my God! What
so let me
the
run through the points
hell?
really quick. So there's two frames in this because we're going to go talk to about Cho Chang and her eidetic memory afterwards. So
Do we have
uh,
to?
yes, so Aes Sedai seem to be respecting each other based on age and not power level. It's the first thing I got from here because Sheriam is deferring to Varen. Um, and looking at the switch that she's not using because it's all dusty. Oh my goodness. I
Yep.
got another
Another
super
super
chat.
chat.
$2 from
Hi,
Salty.
Salty.
Horse kill is psycho magical lesbian Maury. What did we? Salty, thank you, sir. There was some fun stuff on the Discord today. We are coming up with new titles for Moron, including um, the slaughter. Oh no, wait. Slaughter of horses, the
Oh, I saw that.
destroyer of destriers, the the garrotter of geldings, the mauler of mares, and the slaughterer of stallions. So there was some good alliteration going on the Discord stuff. But
Yeah, we'll come to Leandrin and horses later.
Pips was Pips was distraught, and
I'm not.
I'm I'll tease it right now. I actually think I have a good way to work that into the horse meme
Oh
later on.
God.
So, anyways,
Okay, so go on here,
so
because
so
yeah, you do you
it
tell.
seems that the Aes Sedai are being respectful to each other by age more than power level because they can't sense power levels anymore. Varen has a boring conversation, and then Cho Chang Sedai sneaks in to read the novice ledger, um, like she knew that Varen or Sheriam would have to refer to that ledger. And then we shift to the Brown Aja quarters. And Cho Chang mentions that she has an eidetic memory, even though that's a very modern term and was basically invented to replace photographic memory.
Why
Um,
did she need to do that? Sorry, I had to
no,
interrupt. Sorry, I'll do mine after.
because there's some other Aes Sedai, right, that basically say remember anything they ever read or hear, right? But they don't have a modern term for it. Um, we can't even really give the show credit for saying that they didn't use photographic memory because I would have half have been expecting someone like Cho Chang to say that, like, I have a photographic memory.
Right, where they don't have photos. No, my point is, okay, going back to the writing
Oh,
and insulting their audience, okay?
so
So,
not only does she have an eidetic memory, she is also able to like she's got perfect penmanship like a forger and was able to from memory replicate Sheriam's quivering hand as she was writing the ledger.
okay,
How
well, if
fucking stupid is this?
okay, so you just made me think of a question. So, this is actually this is Yasika, right? Is this Yasika?
Yeah, who
Okay.
is
So, yeah, I know Sho-chan. Okay.
not alive. She's like
Yeah,
from the breaking or whatever.
I know. Okay. Yeah, just like when we get to Rima. Oh, that's in a behind that's in a the next episode thingy or whatever. But
Oh God.
um so here we have Yasika, who is supposedly bound by the three oaths, right? So if she goes and spies on the ledger, comes back and talks to Varen, why can she simply not say, hey, I checked out the ledger. This is what I saw. Why do we have to have the little writing exercise and the eidetic memory? And to me, that's insulting the audience, okay?
No, no.
Because Yasika should not be able to lie about what she saw unless she's Black Aja, right? So I'm like, I watched that scene and went, why do I need to know this? You don't tell me shit that I do need to know, but you tell me all this shit that I don't need to know. It's just
No,
have a quick conversation and move on.
it's worse, Trip, because for someone who's got something close to an eidetic memory, I've got actually piss poor penmanship. So those are two completely separate and non-related skills of being able to read something really quickly and then write it down versus being able to read something and then copy exactly to the point that you're able to analyze the penmanship for tremors, which would imply compulsion. This is
Yeah, and
so
we
dumb.
know that that's
And
dumb
you
to
know what she could
begin
have
with.
done? She could have fucking ripped the page out, ripped
That's what
several
I
pages out.
figured they would probably do. Because I'm like,
Or take the
okay,
whole ledger. And then Sherm's like, "Have you seen my ledger?" In a later scene, it's like, "You must have misplaced it."
yeah, you're
Who knows?
getting forgetful lately, as it seems to have been shown earlier, but they obviously didn't want to talk about compulsion in the prior scene. They're
And,
playing little, word
but
games around that, but
but
then
here's
they just start
the
talking about it here.
final dumb point is that they talk about compulsion, and then Cho Chang Sedai says, "But that's against the three oaths." It's not. It's a band weave, and that you could get into a shitload of trouble if you actually do it, but it's not against the three oaths. Because what are the three oaths?
True. True, because that
Like
all has to do
maybe
with
you could say it's the one power as a weapon, but it's not really.
no, it's
But
not. Depending on how you interpret it, which is what the O's are all about to begin with.
mhm. Anyways,
Yeah,
stupid show.
all this stuff just
You ready for this
Here
one,
we
Trip?
go.
All right, I've named this one. We're at about minute 40 just before, and I called this the Jungle Boogie. So so just note some of the timestamps I got coming up. So what happens here is the soldiers, the Shanshen creepy what is it? William H. or John Gacy, the serial killer, the clown one, masks. Yeah,
Oh,
those guys.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
They take the girls from the horse. You know, to your point, how did Leandrin do this on her own? Because those look like fairly burly guys, but who cares? But they take the girls off the horses for Leandrin, walk them to the side, and put them down next to some trees, 40 feet from their side, and then they withdraw.
Okay, and I have a real quick question now. So, Nynaeve was awake talking to Leandrin in the ways.
Oh, she probably got punched in
How
the head
did
again. She gets
Yeah, I was
punched in the
gonna
head all the
say,
time.
how did she knock her out again? Force what is it? Fork root tea?
Hmm? No, no,
Which
no.
which tea is it? Now I can't
Just a
remember.
it's fork root, but they
Okay.
haven't come across that here yet in the story.
Well,
So, but
no, but I'm like, this is what I mean. All these stupid, quick super cuts, but they don't explain things that watching it, you're like, wait, how did they get there? How did that happen? But then they got to give us stupid shit like the eidetic memory stuff that we don't.
but this is so much dumber because they're literally being carried like sacks of grain by by the soldiers, and then they're put next to some trees far enough away from everyone so that in a minute or two they can get up and run away. This is so dumb. Okay, and then we get another
Oh,
really dumb
yeah.
thing where Leandrin has just delivered, these three girls to the Shanshan. Literally 5 seconds, like they're put down against the tree. They're your prisoners now. And then she turns around and 5 seconds later says, "What you do to these women is an abomination."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a slave trader, but what you do suck, but here, buy my slaves. I know.
And
I
and there was
know.
actually someone on the internet who said that this was a good episode.
Oh, there are a lot of people who,
All right. So
yeah,
then
really
we get
rate
to
this high. But
let
wait,
me
I
see
have it.
that. I
Leave it
know.
right there. No, leave it right
Okay, yeah.
there because okay, you do know this is a child actress, right?
Are you
Like
sure?
positive. She is like
Oh
14
man.
years old. Okay, and so I just have to say this real quick. Um, I'm not bothered by children acting, right? This is not what this is about. What bothers me about this is that they have made such an effort to hire to emotionally age up the characters, right? And hire older actors to play those characters. Yet, what is the one character that they choose to put a child actor in with a pacifier? I just have to get out there that I find that exceedingly disturbing. However, and that's nothing against this actress. She's, I guess, been in other things and is pretty good. Okay, so nothing against her or anything like that. I just find that really disturbing. But anyways, what I was really going to
Yeah.
draw your attention to is
Hollywood
in
is full of pedophiles?
no.
Color me shocked.
um but if you look at the expression on her face, here I think she actually looks like a Demone probably would actually look. Maybe. I don't know. I can't decide on that. So I'm going to ask you that question here in a second. But we have seen her
They don't have
in
pacifiers. It's just a thin silvery collar on a leash, and they have nondescript
no.
gray dresses.
I know that unless you're answering something in chat. I'm well aware of that. No, my comment was um in prior scenes, we have seen her as a demone acting very arrogant and self confident, which in a way makes sense to me because even though they're dehumanized and they're slaves and they're property, they're taught and trained that this is actually something more or less very valuable that they do. You know what I mean? Like that
Uh,
position
they
should have some type of power. But
they turn
now,
into pets. That's
I,
that's the issue. Is basically they turn into basically lapdogs that want to please their masters, and
there you
it's
go. So
it's
in
sick and weird.
prior,
And but
yeah, but in prior episodes, we've kind of seen that attitude from, I think her name is Miri. We've seen
she's a
that
good dog.
attitude from her, but now in these scenes, we have her acting all sad that she has to do this. I don't like that because they need to be consistent. I see that as an inconsistency. Sorry, I just had to throw that out
All
there.
right. Okay. Let's get back to the scene. It's just creepy enough that this kid is 14. So yeah. Surath says that the Aes Sedai, or that they're Suldam trained for years and therefore they respect the power more, implying that the Aes Sedai don't train at all. So the only way she could know that is if she was in Alana's classroom from episode 1.
Yeah, it also implies that Soldam can channel. Think about the exact phrasing
Yeah,
that
but we don't need
she
to be
used.
exact with Surath and these people. Like, there's a bigger bust later on that I'll point out, but like, this is just it's dumb. So
Yeah, no,
all right.
that
So
bothered me a lot.
they place the girls aside. They leave them 40 feet away conveniently so that they can escape once Surath says, "Bring them to me." Egwene looks like she can't act, which is nothing new. The whole chase scene lasts for 10 seconds. And
And they
the
stop in an open place.
they stop in an open place, but they lost Egwene. It's like literally, this is a worse chase scene than Perrin and Egwene and the wolves in season 1. This is unbelievably awful. Okay,
Wait. Now I have a question.
what?
Which is worse, that chase scene or in Kenobi?
Okay, I stopped Kenobi right at 2 people, 1 coat. So
Yeah,
there
I
might be a
know, but no, you saw the chase scene through the forest
oh
where she
no, it's through the city where Kenobi's trying to chase the little girl.
no, where they're
That
trying to catch her and they're out in like the woods or whatever, and
oh, that one sucked
she's
too,
just stuck.
but those were longer. But I mean, you're
No,
giving
I
me
know, but
flashbacks, Trip. You're gonna make me like drink more.
ah, you should
This
not
is
be
not
alone
nice.
at a time like this,
No, I
Dain.
shouldn't. All right. So I have this one titled as the world's worst scene, and in part we've already seen people like Prophet of the Dragon act this one out. because I think there was only one change from the leak script, which was like dance the sword versus dance the spear. So probably probably what happened is that was a reshoot. Someone caught it and said on the internet, "Shouldn't that be dance the spears?" And then they're like, "Oh
Hmm.
fuck, we probably need to go fix that one line." So they probably did it in voiceover. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to rewatch this to see if that was said with ADR or whatever, the like dialogue when you don't see them actually speaking, because that's actually easy to do. All right.
I saw, okay, Articus has a comment in chat that I just wanted to address, and I will not take credit for this. I think it might have been a
Is it
profit
this one?
stream or a comment. It was a comment I saw somewhere. I think on profit stream, but they were talking about how Avienda and Perrin. If you looked at those two, you would think Perrin was the Dragon Reborn. Perrin is the Aiel because they have the same similarity
Yeah.
rather than
I'm already looking past that.
well,
The
no, I'm
dreadlocks
just
is one thing,
talking.
but I mean, like, this scene
Yeah,
is so bad. It doesn't matter who they cast for Avienda. This scene would suck simply by
oh,
kind of
I
what they say.
agree.
So
I
they
agree.
brought some Uno meat for Hopper, who's chewing on probably Uno's leg. They get info dumping dialogue. They get some certain things wrong, like Avienda says she's searching for the Kara Karn. No, no, they search for He Who Comes with the Dawn. Dumb fucks. And then Avienda has a life debt now, like she's a Wookiee from Star Wars. Although, like, Gaul said he owed Perrin, but not like in a Bondy type of way. And then she starts making jokes for like she wants to get laid.
Yeah, she starts flirting with Perrin, and okay, yes, we know that the Aiel have quite the sense of humor when it comes to their sexual mores as opposed to the way most wetlanders act. I mean, we know that as book readers, right? However, Avienda really what I need to start calling her Flippy Kicks. Flippy Kicks would
Flippy
not
Kicks is a
act.
slut, and
Avienda would not
Avienda
act
was
that way.
prudish.
Flippy Kicks obviously does. It's like, what? No.
All right, we got some short
Oh
scenes,
my
but
god! And then
we got to
there's
keep
two
going, or else
more.
we'll just be
What?
streaming this forever. But
I
okay,
know.
so we got the Morocco scene where Elaine and Nynaeve steal some rugs, cut a hole in them, and then threw them over their novice outfits as like disguise shawls to trick everyone. That's pretty racist. Nynaeve is dumb and unlikable throughout this whole scene, including being like, "I don't take orders from you, and you're not my princess." Blah blah blah, and then they summarily get knocked out by a man. So it is actually one of the better scenes in the show. Um, then we
Yeah,
have
but how do they? Okay, I have to throw it in there. You did not mention that. How did they make little posters of them to put up everywhere? It was like almost immediately. Once again, we have no sense of time. How much
there's
time
nothing
has
about
elapsed
posters.
to give
You just need to share their
how
description, Trip,
well,
or
okay,
your
sure,
like it
but
can be verbally.
it
Let's
can,
let's
but
not let's
still.
not criticize the show for stuff that they didn't do, because there's enough that they did do to make fun of them of. All right, so Leandrin is back, and she has a bag of asparagus as her alibi.
Yeah, yeah, I have to admit, it was kind of humorous here, as cringy as it was, that we have this whole okay, what I call this scene is um what's the I knew the quote last night, the Club cloak. You know, if you're in the Black Aja, you don't talk about the Black Aja. So it's like you've got these two characters that they pretty much each know that they're in the same club, but they're just sparring with
No,
each other.
no, 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 no,
And
no. They wouldn't know if they're both members of the same heart. So,
they might not truly know, but in the show, that's the way I read this scene. I was dying because
in
they're
all
both
honesty, they were probably both at the Boar's prologue. At the Although I know Varen was for sure, because like her ring was super dark. That wasn't a black ring. That was a brown ring.
right.
But anyways, like, but no, it's like Was it if someone has a very well prepared alibi, that in and of itself kind of becomes suspicious, and it's like, oh wait, I didn't know this. Oh, I have asparagus with me. See, I was obviously somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that the daughter heir went south. Oh goodness, I heard that caravan was attacked by bandits in white cloaks. It's oh fuck. Okay, dumb scene. Now we go to a dumber one. This is gross. So Anaver knows from instinct that Moron has no plan, um, and advise. Oh wait, what is it? I might have misspelled this in my notes. Her plan sucks, and then Anaver says, "So change your plan," and their plan becomes not to have a plan, and that's how this was plotted. So everything I was saying earlier about they can no longer sleep. Well, that makes it a non-viable plan. But the next step was always going to be this conversation between these two characters, which convinces Moron to change course.
Right,
And
because it's
that's
all
why it's written the way it is. But that still makes it terrible, right?
well, and it's the whole, you gave me advice when, we were younger, and so is it the truth? Is it the
Trip.
truth that
I
you
have a
need?
question for you.
Okay.
How much about Anna Ver is in the actual books?
I think there's like one freaking line, isn't there?
Yeah.
Something about she goes
She
fox hunting
Moron
or
gets at or
something.
Moraine in the books gets asked about the suitability of her sisters to take the throne of Kyrian, and then she notes that Anna Vera's got like her head in the clouds and thinks of nothing but like horses and hawking.
Okay, there you go. I couldn't remember the specifics, but
But that's literally it. She is this season's Steppen,
yeah, probably.
who also had like one or two lines from fucking A New Spring. Good
Well,
God.
I'm just going, okay, I like I said earlier, I kind of see what they were trying to do there that might actually come from the books, but
No.
all they did was, okay, Moraine has now put them all in such a position that yes, she does need to protect Rand. But what is she going to do instead? Sacrifice him to Lanfear.
Yeah, we'll get your
There,
input on
no
that
more
a
fun.
little bit later. I'm keen to know what you think about the bondage stuff coming up. All right, what do you
I'm sure you are. Oh my god, this is so
this
stupid.
fucking scene? I couldn't believe it, but I kind of should have believed it. So we get some Teleron Rayad weirdness. I'm just gonna
Mm.
let this linger for a little bit. Let it sink in that
Well, okay, so
someone
I
actually acted this out. But
well, I and you okay, so I know a lot of people were taking that scene as okay, they're going to make Ishi and Rand be like a thing or something. No, cuz Ishi knew it was Lanfear masquerading as Rand. But yeah, it was just
it doesn't change that it's
stupid.
dumb.
And
So
then they have her show as Rand later again, Rand in the bed again, but wearing the
I
same
know
white
they're
shirt. It's
they're
like
doing
what?
Teleran Riad all well. That's because they couldn't like do a costume change. But anyway, so that whole thing is dumb. It's Ishi's dream, and Lanfear's coming into it. That was kind of clear. Ishi's dream is in a room full of seals. So we have the individually sealed Forsaken, and the seals aren't like palm size; they're massive sculptures now.
The seals
All
are in that room.
yeah, yeah,
I've only watched this once, and there were
yeah.
parts that
Well,
I
they
didn't.
talk about like, do you know why I freed you first? And then they say, well, Mogedian's insane. She's not. She's just apparently she'll be insane in this book. Grandal is a fat slut, or no, wait, that's what she was in the book. I forget what they call her in this. And then
I don't
Lanfear says
remember either.
the boys couldn't even pull off a plan if they were under compulsion. So that's the like remaining things. Hey, here's a question for you, Trip. Do you think they'll cast a dwarf actor to be Samael?
Oh God.
because I think now that would
They
be hilarious.
might.
We've
They
seen two
might. Yeah.
dwarves already in the show, so they might like, oh sweet, like they'll cast Peter Dinklage to be
Actually,
cement.
that would be fantastic, but they would never dare because he's like a good actor.
Yeah, he'd probably turn him down, being like, I'm not playing another dwarf with a scar across his face.
Okay, but I have a question for you. So, or a comment. So, obviously, they are trying to differentiate now between Lanfear and any other disguises that she might present herself under by her now having the short hair and the heavy duty makeup, the goth makeup.
I don't think that was disguised. I just think that she doesn't. She's not very pretty.
She's actually a pretty woman.
No,
They're just making her not. We're not going to get in this
maybe
argument.
okay. Maybe they're uggifying her for this particular scene, but like I'm not a fan. But
No,
anyways,
I'm just talking as a person, not what they've done to her in the show. But no, I
I
definitely
don't think they're.
noticed she now has short hair as Lanfear. Unless
Yeah,
it's
because
only
she's now
because
power
she's in the
lesbian stuff
dream.
or some. I don't know what she's. Let's not.
I
I
like
don't
those
care.
things. I know you don't, but I do. But
All right.
anyways, move on.
Okay, moving on. Um, she asks here of Ishi about the like the two of the Taviran that he's just received. So obviously referring to Egwene and Nynaeve. And Ishamael replies, "One craves power and the other fears it." And I'm like, didn't one of them escape? So how do you know about that?
Well, actually, if she could.
Okay, maybe he
Because
got some messages sent from Leandrin ahead of time.
yeah. But
But
again, kind of utilizing book knowledge or whatever. If she could, because he could actually spy on her dreams, keep track. He wasn't as good as Lanfear, definitely,
all right.
but you know,
And then we got that Pern is about to go full wolf, which for some reason makes him dark. And Matt was always mine. So we see Sir not appearing in this episode, or Sir not appearing in this film, Matt, and they still assassinate his character a little bit more. That Matt was always on the dark side.
like he was evil from the moment he was born.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah.
really.
And just so you know, I observed that Lanfear also has a 3-finger ring
Yeah, I
in
saw
this
that
shot. Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they both have the. I think it's an Angreal or whatever. But it doesn't matter. It's just
Yeah,
like,
it
all right,
probably is. The Forsaken probably all have the golden cock rings. I'm staying with that.
okay, cock rings.
Yeah, the golden cock rings.
All right, sounds good. All right, now we have Ishi's second audience in front of
Ah,
Lord
Jesus.
Turok, and I have to note, did Ingtar and Loyal even move this entire
I
episode?
don't think they did.
Like this whole fucking like set scene or whatever, it's just the same scene we saw before but set at night. So it was probably all filmed on the same day with the same blocking and whatnot, and they just okay, let's just keep everyone positions, please. Clap, clap. All right, and let's shoot this. Let's knock this out today.
This actually looks like from Stargate.
No, Stargate was better.
No, I know.
Um,
I'm just talking about the setting. I just noticed that. I'm like, hey,
so
wait.
So Ishi, he's already given up the Horn of Valir, now gives Egwene to Ingtar, but we don't know that yet. We still need to get through this scene where our girls Nynaeve and Elaine. Elaine has actually got an ample bosom, I must say. She's was
You're waiting
pleasantly.
for that oval cutout, aren't you?
I am. I've been pleasantly surprised with Elaine in this season. That's one place I will give props to the show, but no, she's up there on the bosom tier. I think she's climbing that ladder. Um, but anyways, let's cut back to
Wait,
Ishi and
in that scene, did they have Rima in it yet, or is that coming
they
up?
did, but I deem that to be so insignificant and unimportant. She'll certainly be the main character for the next 3 episodes.
Well, Well, yeah, I keep sorry, it does blur. So, oh, that's right. No, she doesn't give the girls rings in that scene. Not in this episode either. That's next
Wait, wait,
episode.
wait. She gives them fucking rings?
Yeah, if you I
No, no,
know
no,
you're
no,
not.
no. No.
No,
Okay,
okay.
no.
So if you go, this is a, you know how they do the, I think there's a little teaser for
I'm
episode
not even watching that.
6, but yeah, no, but
Here's a
in
quick
that she does.
trip.
She has the
Why?
rings. I don't know. It's just a little teaser, but it's like, the girls have to get rings somehow.
You need to escape this place. They're looking for anyone that shows any hint of being an Aes Sedai. So here is a great serpent ring to like get you caught. The fuck is going? Okay, we'll save that for the next drunk
Yeah,
stream.
but they're trying to go back to the shit they screwed up from the books where the girls don't have the
Yeah,
rings so that
all
they
they
can
needed to do was
pretend to
like
be.
when Egwene took the fucking trophy chain off of Eamon Valda in season 1, she then should not have given that back to the Amerlin. Like this wasn't hard to do.
I know, but she was trying to
Okay.
be a good little girl
Yeah.
then,
So
wasn't she?
Suroth is no
Huh?
longer banished. Ingtar and Loyal are still in the same spot. They literally haven't moved. And then we get this, which is the one power gets
Mm,
activated to actually collar Egwene, and it turns into like a big bib.
yeah, Iron Man.
But they're not really showing who's supplying the one power to the soul dump. Is there a Damani in the background? Anyways, it's not.
Exactly. No, I had issues with that because, okay, so if you take it that the Adam is what, a terangrial? Is that what
Yep.
it would be? Okay. So let's say it can activate itself when it's whatever, placed around a neck or something,
Yeah.
right?
Anyone can
So
place it, right? Matt
right,
places
right.
them.
And it could be a terangrial that does not require channeling. Okay, get that. However, it does its little, Iron Man chicka chicka thing and creates the breastplate and all of that. But then there is
It's a
a
bib.
little golden sliver, a little golden chain of channeling from that to the bracelet. Now, is that the Soldam channeling that little sliver of connection, or is that part of the Terangrial? And somebody who's not read the books would not understand that connection at all, anyways. So
No,
to me, it's like you watch this and you go, oh, well, the
there's nothing to
Soldam can
understand, Trip.
channel.
There's nothing to understand because Egwene is now all of a sudden the only Demone that is actually leashed on a leash because they clip a
Well,
fucking dog
yeah.
leash onto her.
They do, but then they connect the freaking collar to the bracelet. So why do they need a physical leash as well? It was fan service is what it was.
Mm.
They actually admitted
We're
that it
getting
was
to the
fan
final
service,
scene, so this one starts with
but
Barthanas being all horny for Rand. Like they're not even subtle on that. They changed Lanfear turning to the Shadow to being Louis Theron's fault. So fuck you, show. It's not how it went down. Uh,
yeah,
Rand basic.
Articus has a good question.
Is it the latest one? Since we haven't had any separation between sexes, does that mean that Rand could just be collared by? Yeah, they potentially.
Yeah, so far in the show. But okay, and you don't have to go to a different slide or anything, but
I think this is the last one.
I still have to repeat that. What the hell? Why is Moraine just serving Rand up? And didn't Rand basically go, okay, well, what do you want me to do? Like all of a sudden, he's just willing to fully 100% trust her again. After all the crap that happened at Eye of the World, after running away from it, after her, killing Landfear, and he only still has Moraine's word for the fact that Landfear is a Forsaken, right? He's not had this information from anybody else. He's not had any proof of it. He
Well,
didn't
until now,
see Well,
until
yeah,
now. He's
until
bound to the
now.
wheel, and he's about to get punished like the bad boy that he is.
But what I'm saying is, once again, there's no logic in that at all. He just is Moraine's little puppy again, and is just like, okay, well, what do you want me to do? Oh, you want me to lay down and go to sleep and step into the world that's quote unquote owned by one of the Forsaken? I mean, we know that's not particularly true, but still, it's kind of like, me stepping
Hey,
onto a
do,
football field
do you
and
remember
going,
the books? How
hit
like
me.
being in proximity to Moraine could help shield his dreams?
Actually, yeah,
Yeah,
now
but
I
but not in
do.
the show because she's been shielded or something like. But
Yeah, but okay,
this
anyways,
is
go on. This is
so.
what the hell with her outfit. Yes, I am going to say I
You don't
do
have this
think
outfit?
no, I don't have this outfit.
Okay, that's a
You can
disappointment.
only wish I did. I know. Actually, I kind of think the outfit itself is cool. I hate the what the fuck ever you want to call it that's on her head. That what the hell
It's
is
like
that? That's mhm.
this is a Wheel of Time inspired head setting because it's got like a black teardrop and a white teardrop,
And
but
it's
they're
kinda
not
got the
not like
moon
interlocked.
motif, yeah,
Does
and
it though?
somebody pointed out that it's could be an antithesis to Schwann's outfit, that we're gonna see later with the headdress and all of
Because they have
that.
all the peacock feathers and shit.
Mhm. But anyways, yeah, if you were just looking for, like, a cool, role play or a cool, dominatrix kind of a look, that's actually a decent look, but it's not Lanfear. That is not fucking Lanfear. She would not do that.
I know.
Anyways, yeah, this is kind of hilarious. This is really
Uh,
hilarious.
that was the end of my notes.
Ah, what did you
Just
not like the scene? Were you not titillated by it?
have you seen her? Like, no. Like, Trip. Thanks for joining. This is usually as long as I get on one of these drunk streams. This wasn't good.
I
You,
know.
you
I
did your best.
really
You tried to make it better, but this was somewhat futile.
I
This
know, but
this show
still, you
sucks.
shouldn't be alone when you do these things, Dane.
I'm always alone and never alone.
Yeah. I'm just not tonight is kind of an odd thing. Usually we're doing our episode stream on Friday, but this week we're doing it tomorrow night. So, but yeah, I don't know. I found it some parts of it enraging, but I'm starting to get to the point where I am finding parts of it hilarious, like flippy kicks.
I just
I do. Okay, my
I
last question.
can't look away. But anyway,
I know,
last
it's
question.
like a
Last question.
train wreck. My last question for you, do you think that when Flippy Kicks becomes a wise one, do you think that she will be still doing her Flippy Kick thing and channeling? So
Okay,
you
no,
wanna talk
no, no, no,
about
no, no.
overpowered.
They're going to give her Gaul's whole thing. So she's now tied with Perrin. She's not going to know how to channel. Like
You don't
Rand is going
think?
to learn from the Aiel from like the wise ones directly, or what? They're not going to do any of that Avienda Rand stuff.
You don't well, I'm kind of with you on that, but you think they're gonna pass up a chance for Avienda to be a channeler? I don't think so. I don't think so. They're already making Nynaeve be a blade
Look, Trip.
master and a channeler,
The
so why wouldn't they give that to Avi too, to Flippy Kicks?
Amazon is going to get the results in from all the views that they're getting, and then they're going to use the writers and actors strike as a force majeure case to cancel the contract. We're not going to see a season 3, and that's probably the best thing that could ever happen. Just
Maybe.
give it a couple more weeks.
I still think they're gonna push.
Now
Season
that
3
they're
out
get
at
the
least.
the only reason why that's going is because that was in the original contract, and at a certain point they say, well, if you can't honor the contract because of these strikes, we're just going to force majeure it, and if you want to sue
Yeah, but
us, we'll see you in court because it's cheaper for them to cancel at this point because no one is watching the show except us who can't look away, and basically 17 people on Twitter who have got serious mental problems.
yeah, but they were filming up until just very shortly, if not
Yeah,
still filming now because they're in Europe. So
no,
they just
they're
can't do
they're
on-site
not,
rewrites, but
and all the actors, if they're part of SAG, they can't act.
they're
So
not.
there's no production going on though.
No, they're not, Dane. They're
Are they
under
still
whatever
producing it?
they're
Because it
still they're still
no,
under.
all the top people from Ragnar on down are basically on strike. So the show's
Yeah, but they
suspended.
can still okay, from what I understand, from what
Okay,
I
like
read,
honestly,
that
maybe if you exclude some of those people who are on strike, you might actually be able to produce a better show.
well,
But
this is true. But I think, from what I understand, even Rave is allowed to do producing stuff. He cannot do anything that
can't
falls
rewrite anything
under, yeah,
like he was rewriting
exactly.
anything
I
at all
know.
from the beginning.
I
So
know.
Articus, you were told that this episode is where the show gets good. You got told that by a fucking moron. Anyways, um, can't believe we actually have people watching this. I can't believe we actually got some super chats. So thank you guys. Um, this ran a little bit longer than I was hoping because I have to get to the bathroom and Fitzy needs out. So I'm gonna
Well,
blame
I
Trip
kind
for
of
that.
kept it going, you goofball. I'm good at that. I'm not shy. But
No, no, it's the
anyways,
opposite. I wanted to wrap it up about 30 minutes ago, but oh well.
blame me. You blame me all the time.
It's your fault. All right. Good night, everyone.
Okay. Good night.